So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, now as we are slowly beginning to warm up with today's event, and I believe we're all adjusting perfectly well in this intellectual milieu, I would now like to take this opportunity to welcome our wonderful panelists one by one. However, the common element shared amongst all our panelists is that they're all renowned and well-accomplished professionals thriving in their own professional journeys. And I personally believe that you will have great insight and a lot of learning with what they have to say today. I'd like to start a brief introduction of our first panelist, Nisha Akil. Nisha is currently heading the Legal and External Affairs Department at British American Tobacco Global Business Solutions, while also being the company's secretary. She's also a board member of Women in BAT and leads an external engagement, carries a diverse experience in the field of constitutional law, general corporate law, project finance, labor law, and dispute resolution. Please give a big round of applause to Nisha. Our second panelist of today's event is Mr. Bilal Alam Khan, who has been working in HR for the last 19 years. And currently, for the last 6 years, Mr. Bilal has been working with Blue Group of Companies as Group CHRO. He has a diversified business of construction projects, IT company, education business, Suno TV, and also aviation business. Again, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to Mr. Bilal. Thank you, Bilal. Our next panelist is Ms. Farah Zahir, in HR business partner, commercial at Telenor Pakistan, with over 12 years of experience in HR. She is passionate about building strong teams, strategic partnering, and transforming cultures. Her competence has translated business strategy into impactful HR initiatives, which has enabled her to drive smooth transformations. Let's give a big round of applause to Ms. Farah over here. Our next panelist is Mr. Faraz Aslam, who's the founder and CEO of CAF Human Excellence & Co. Faraz, thank you so much for joining us here today. We would love to know more about your professional experience. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Mr. Faraz. We have another incredible panelist, Mr. Mashkoor Malik, who has an extensive experience of more than 14 years, both in MNCs and large family-owned organizations. He currently works as Director Human Resources at Lotte Akhtar Beverages, a conglomerate with businesses in beverages manufacturing distribution. He's a business graduate from Glasgow, United Kingdom. He has also worked for other few large-scale prestigious organizations, which include Spell, Coca-Cola, Volca Food International, etc. Mr. Khurram has successfully provided strategic direction and overall leadership on HR matters and has enabled organizations transition to a more holistic people orientation with a culture around strong values and performance-based behaviors. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Khurram with a big round of applause. And last but not least, I would like to welcome Ms. Wajiha Khan. It is a great privilege to have Ms. Wajiha here as a distinguished panelist. She is a seasoned professional in the field of human resources and has completed over 12 years of experience across multitude of sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to Ms. Wajiha. Thank you so much, panelists. Now we are going to have a conversation with our wonderful panelists over here. And of course, afterwards, we will also give the members of our audience a chance to ask questions which are going to be relevant to their particular professional careers. So, how are you all feeling? Good, thank you. So thank you so much for being a part of this wonderful event. So we will have like a nice quick questions for each one of you. So, because I'm sure that everybody wants to know your valuable insights, right? So, Bilal, the first question goes to you. What are some key strategies Blue Group has implemented to foster an inclusive and adaptable workplace culture? Would you perhaps share some valuable specific examples for that?
Yes, sure. First of all, Assalamu alaikum everyone ji. मेरी organization जो कि Blue Group of Companies है, as earlier you said, we have a diversified businesses. So we will start with the discussion of diversity and inclusiveness in the culture that we have. अच्छा, उसके लिए important ये है कि you need to understand diversity, and secondly we need to understand inclusiveness along with the exclusions. So having diversified businesses of portfolio of as a developer in real estate industry, in education sector for Forces School and College System. Either it may be Suno TV or the Blue World Aviation or Blue Technology, that is an IT firm. So you come across different kinds of people with different kind of diverse experiences. Diversity means कि उसका ethnic background would be different, उसका culture would be different, उसकी grooming, उसका educational background, and the companies he has worked with different exposures. So वहाँ पे what we need to understand as an employee, अगर मैं अपने आप को देखूँ तो over the last 19 years I've been to different MNCs and large national organizations, Service and WWF and Urban Soul. So वहाँ पे हमेशा हमें ये feel होता था, I'll take myself as a person who starts as an HR officer way back in 2005 and 6, right? So having your input in the organization is very important. Getting to know that you are being actually welcomed, your ideas are being heard, आपकी बात को सुना जाता है, that is very important. अगर आपकी बात को ना सुना जाए, आपको प्रोजेक्ट्स के अंदर या डिस्कशंस के अंदर इन्वॉल्व ना किया जाए और सिर्फ ये कहा जाए कि आप इसको करें, तो आप ऑब्जर्वेशन फेज़, कॉम्पिटेंसी का फर्स्ट फेज़ है, उसमें ही आप कोलैप्स कर जाते हैं. सो वो तमाम ह्यूमन नेचर के फैक्ट्स आपके जहन में होने चाहिए एज एन एचआर जब आप किसी भी मैनेजरियल पोजीशन या कहीं किसी भी अथॉरिटी में आएँ. सो कमिंग टू द पॉइंट कि हम क्या प्रैक्टिसेस कर रहे हैं और उसमें क्या फ़ायदा हो रहा है, उसके लिए आपको पहले बैकग्राउंड और ग्रासरूट लेवल के ऊपर इंक्लूजन और डाइवर्सिटी ऑफ कल्चर को समझना पड़ेगा. आपको ये देखना पड़ेगा कि आपके लोअर टीयर्स के अंदर, आपके ग्रेड स्ट्रक्चर्स के अंदर वो ऐसी टीम्स, ऐसे पोर्टफोलियोज़, ऐसे ग्रुप्स होते हैं जिनको आप अनहर्ड रखते हैं. फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल आपने अप्रिसिएशन करनी है परफॉर्मेंस बाय मैनेजमेंट से, MBO से, बेल कर्व से, आप अपने तमाम सपोर्टिंग स्टाफ, ऑपरेशनल स्टाफ, मिडिल लेवल, मैनेजरियल लेवल, वहाँ तक आप प्रमोट करते हैं, लेकिन आप जनरल स्टाफ और बाकी उन तमाम लोगों को अनहर्ड रखते हैं, आप उनको सुनते नहीं हैं. तो आपके पास ऐसे HR के सेशंस होने चाहिए अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में वेयर यू कैन हैव मंथली और बाय क्वार्टरली सेशंस जहाँ पे आप उन लोगों से ओपन डिस्कशंस कर सकें. ओपन डिस्कशन में कौन बोलेगा, कौन स्पीकअप करेगा, कौन आपका पार्ट बनेगा, वो उसी वक्त बनेगा जब आप बात सुनने के बाद उसको कोई रिजल्ट ओरिएंटेड आंसर्स भी देंगे. सो फोकस ऑन दोज थिंग्स. सेकेंडली, फोकस ऑन हायरिंग दोज पीपल हु आर मोर इनटू एम्प्लॉय एंगेजमेंट, इंटरपर्सनल स्किल्स, और वो लोगों के साथ कम्युनिकेटिव हों, इंट्रोवर्ट ना हों. ज़्यादा एक्सट्रोवर्ट लोग जो उनसे होते हैं, दे हेल्प पीपल विद इन द डिफरेंट टीयर्स and grade levels of your organization. Third, employer recognition is very important. It is not always the financial increments or the hierarchical promotions that you give. आप लोगों को appreciate उनके छोटे छोटे कामों पे कर सकते हैं. Start thinking on the lines where you can say कि यार ये काम आपने अच्छा किया है. हाँ, unethical, zero tolerance, indiscipline चीज़ों के ऊपर हमें strict rules रखने चाहिए, compliance होनी चाहिए. उसके साथ साथ आपको ये भी देखना है, एक हमारा माइंडसेट होता है. मैं अपनी एग्जांपल लेता हूँ. व्हेन आई ज्वाइन WWF पाकिस्तान, मुझे पता है कि वहाँ पे मुझे एज एन HR ऑफिसर व्हेन आई ज्वाइंड वे बैक, सो मुझे ऑप्शंस मिली फॉरेनर्स के साथ काम करने की ना. तो स्विट्ज़रलैंड इज़ द हेड ऑफिस बाय द वे. सो उन्होंने वहाँ पे मेरी इनपुट लेना शुरू की एंड आई फेल्ट लाइक कि यार हाँ, आई एम एडिंग सम वैल्यू डिस्पाइट कि मेरा एक्सपीरियंस कम था. लेकिन आप किसी ऐसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जाएं जहाँ पे आपको इन्वॉल्व ना किया जाए स्टार्टिंग लेवल पे, आपको डिसीजंस में या डिस्कशंस में ना ऐड ऑन किया जाए, यू फेल्ट लाइक यू आर कंट्रीब्यूटिंग वेरी लेस, यू आर ऑफ लेस वैल्यू एंड यू आर जस्ट रनिंग योर डे. तो ऐसी इन्वायरमेंट के अंदर ना प्रोडक्टिविटी कोलैप्स कर जाती है, टीम बिल्डिंग कोलैप्स करती है. तो कल्चर में एक चीज़ याद रखें, डाइवर्सिटी को एक्सेप्ट करें. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह माशाल्लाह आई थिंक 100+ लोग यहाँ पे बैठे होंगे, डाइवर्सिफाइड एक्सपीरियंस होंगे, अपनी फील्ड के एक्सपर्ट्स होंगे, लेकिन कल्चरली और एजुकेशनली और एक्सपीरियंस वाइज डिफरेंट होंगे. तो डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियन को ना समझना है. बाय लिसनिंग इन कस्टमर सेंट्रिक अप्रोच कल्चर में, बाय लिसनिंग 50% ऑफ योर प्रॉब्लम्स गो अवे. सुने लोगों को. फिर उसके बाद ये है कि हम अच्छी प्रैक्टिसेस क्या करते हैं ब्लू ग्रुप ऑफ कंपनीज़ में. हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर ना we have made some certain rules. First, हम पहले बेल कर्व के ऊपर फोकस थे लास्ट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में, हमें बजट मिलता था, लेकिन फॉर हाई पोस्ट और द मैनेजरियल लेवल्स हम वहाँ पे, मैं बात कर रहा था शुरू में तमाम पैनल से, आई थिंक कुछ लोग इन्वॉल्व थे, शायद कुछ लोग अभी नहीं आए थे. वी फोकस ऑन द वाओ एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ द फैमिलीज़ ऑफ आवर एम्प्लॉयज़. अगर मेरे एम्प्लॉयज़ की जो फैमिलीज़ हैं वो वाओ एक्सपीरियंस रखती हैं, आइदर इट इज़ फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट, फाइनेंशियल गेन, गुड लाइफ टाइम फैसिलिटीज़ टू द फैमिलीज़, आपका एम्प्लॉय रिटेन रहेगा आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में. फर्स्ट. सेकेंडली, हम परफॉर्मेंस ड्रिवन ऑब्जेक्टिव्स में हम म्यूचुअल गोल्स रखते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ सेल्स डिपार्टमेंट इज़ डूइंग समथिंग गुड, इट इज़ बीइंग सपोर्टेड बाय लॉट ऑफ कॉस्ट सेंटर डिपार्टमेंट एज वेल. ऑपरेशनल डिपार्टमेंट्स भी इन्वॉल्व होते हैं, तो हम उनके साथ भी उनके ऑब्जेक्टिव स्टेटस को के साथ उसको भी मैच करवाते हैं. थर्ड, एम्प्लॉय एंगेजमेंट एक्टिविटीज़ सिर्फ एचआर इनिशिएट नहीं करता, तमाम एचओडीज़ को अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हैं, उनका एक स्टेटस बना हुआ है कि जहाँ पे वो एम्प्लॉय एंगेजमेंट एक्टिविटीज़ के आइडियाज़ देते हैं. हम इंगेज भी करते हैं, और इंगेजमेंट में जितनी भी सीनियर मैनेजमेंट है वो स्टेप बैक कर जाती है, और जो मैनेजमेंट लेवल है या मिड लेवल रिसोर्सेज हैं वो उसको अरेंज करते हैं. सो आप उनको इन्वॉल्व करते हैं. सो इस तरह की रिकग्निशंस, focus groups और meetings with the people at different levels, it is very important that we do. हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में ग्रोथ पैरामीटर 5, 10, 15% नहीं है. That I tell you very openly. Ahmed is sitting with us. He is the Deputy Manager Recruitment. He has just joined us from Adamji Insurance and he is a witness of it. So हम लोग इन चीज़ों में ग्रोथ पैटर्न्स को परसेंटाइल में फिक्स नहीं करते उन लोगों के लिए जो अपना 100% या 120% ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को दे रहे होते हैं. तो ये प्रैक्टिसेस ही हम कर रहे हैं. वी आर करंटली डूइंग इन
Wonderful. Wonderful. Absolutely great. Wonderful. My next question is for Nisha Akil. Nisha, how do legal and external affairs influence the evolution of workplace culture, particularly in a multinational corporation like British American Tobacco? Do you perhaps want to shed some light on that?
Sure. I think the first thing I want to address is that's quite obvious I'm not an HR professional, unlike my very accomplished panelists. My educational background is legal and industrial and labor relations, and my work experience has to do with legal, and I'm also part of the leadership team at BAT GBS. I think the most unique perspective that I bring to the table is having a high level of awareness of what's happening on the outside and what can happen on the inside, and I think that's something that us legal professionals really cannot escape. It is always trying to preempt what possible challenges are going to arise in the near future based on practices of today or lack of practices of today. So if I'm to break it down to really answer your question, one of the first things we look at is the things that BAT does well. Are we doing them as well as we can? So having very robust standards of business conduct, having very robust practices around recruitment, fairness, are we opening it up to people from diversified backgrounds? When we see CVs, and that's the first step, are we getting a fair mix of people? Whether it's gender, whether it is people who are differently abled. Second, during the interviewing process, are our managers trained? Have they gone through an awareness session where they can recognize their own biases? Breaking it down into different steps, so at each point in time, anything that might contribute towards the absolute best candidate not being selected is targeted. And then once you come in, that for me is the last step. Any person coming into the office is then our responsibility to make sure that they know what the opportunities are for them. Do they have them available to them as any other person would? And are they comfortable? And something that our panelists has shared, are they comfortable expressing their view? Are they comfortable bringing their difference? Are they comfortable contributing? And a lot of work goes into that. So our organization at BAT GBS, it's a very young population. 385 plus people, average age 30, which means every person is young, energetic, ambitious. They want to know what plans you have for them and how they are going to excel based on the feedback that you give, based on the opportunities that you have. And the last one obviously has to, this is the unexciting stuff, right? And that's my domain. I love the mundane. I love the absolute basics of every day, which is you coming in, are you safe, are you secure? Because I also look after safety and environment, health and safety, right? Like security. Things such as if you are feeling uncomfortable because of a certain situation, do you have the resources available to you? And that's why we all have open space. Our desks are right there. People can come and meet us and speak to us. Because as many of us are going to say, a conversation has the ability to solve a lot of problems. But if spaces are not available, if people are not available to have conversations, a lot of simple things escalate into problems. So that's a unique perspective that I offer, which is always sitting in my corner thinking, is there something that can go wrong? Is there something more that can be done? And because I have the opportunity to sit on the leadership team, it's to offer that insight to a very, very open and welcoming team. So I don't want to take up more time. I want to also hear from my incredible panelists, but I would be happy to answer any questions later.
Excellent,
Thanks.
Nisha. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So my next question is going to be for Wajiha. So Wajiha, as the head of HR at uBlocks, how do you balance the need for maintaining a consistent workplace culture with the need to adapt the rapidly changing technological advancements?
I think, like any other organization, the DNA of that we HR people usually call, it's the DNA of the company, your core values. That is something, if you really talk about an organization where your core values and behaviors are not a plaque on a wall, it's something that people understand. It's very important. डायरीज पे लिखवा के आप दे देंगे, एक सेशन करवा लेंगे, पीछे बैनर लगा दिया. That is something that everyone does. But how, as the employee you are working, do you understand what the core value is and how it connects to the business?
True.
How I am delivering, it is the behavior part of it. So whenever you are bringing in the technological advancement, and I think everyone says that, but I think post-COVID, pehle organizations were responding to technological advancement. I think up technology is advancing in response to the needs of the organization. The new generation, like, we say they want remote, they want hybrid, they have opportunities globally, and that is also something that organizations need to understand now. As an HR, I don't have to worry कि अगर मैं FMCG में आऊँ तो my employee can exit to BAT. That is not the exit analysis I'm doing anymore. I am looking at the global platform because there are hundreds of opportunities available. So when you talk about culture, is that something which is tangible, which is understood? So when you do the transformation and bring in new technology, you need to make sure you're not proposing anything which is in misalignment, True. B, as you are adapting new technologies, you really need to have a feedback culture, a loop.
True.
And you need to be flexible as an organization, and it goes both ways. As an employee, you need to be flexible, willing to adapt, and as an organization, you are willing to tweak whatever changes you are doing, because whatever you put as a blueprint, जब आप implementation में जाते हैं, there are always bugs. I have implemented 3 HRIS. It is very different in real time because every organization is unique.
Right.
So it basically essentially means you also need to have a culture where there is an environment of continuous learning.
Absolutely.
People are willing to learn, people are willing to adapt. And I will not like to take a lot of time. I will also sum up based on my experience. आपने किसी बाहर वाले से दौड़ नहीं लगानी ना कि अगर इसने ये कर लिया तो मैंने ये 5 मॉड्यूल्स अगले 4 महीने में निकाल देने हैं. Pace it out. Do things at your own pace, because we need to understand जब आप एक technology करते हैं, people have to unlearn
True.
and they have to relearn.
Exactly.
But at the same time, the line and the HR is saying it deliver kyun nahi hua.
True.
So they have only this much bandwidth. So when you do 10 different things on 10 different modules, right? You are asking them to unlearn and relearn while still consistently providing the same quality and quantity of delivery.
Right.
So have realistic expectation and try to connect your platforms. So I've seen organization attendance इस module में है, L&D इसमें है, ठीक है, छुट्टी इस पे करनी है, ये चीज़ email में करनी है, लेकिन साथ system में भी करनी है.
True.
You are making things so complicated that employees don't want to adapt. So don't do technology transformation because you want it. When you talk to employees or other people, do it because A, you need it. B, it is as per your requirement, not what everyone is saying.
Right.
So to sum it up, a construction worker ये नहीं कह सकता कि मैंने fancy Prada के जूते पहन के जो है ना काम करना है.
Yeah.
Do what suits you.
Right. Excellent. Wonderful what you did. Wonderful. Wonderful. My next question is for Mashkoor Malik. So Mashkoor, can you describe the biggest challenges which you have faced in evolving workplace, in the evolving workplace of the culture at Lotte Pakistan, and how did you best address them?
Well, thank you very much. First of all, I would request कि इस मौसम को ज़्यादा बुरा मत कहें. ये अच्छा मौसम है. अगर गुस्सा कर गया तो अगर ये पलटा तो शायद दोबारा. So once again, thank you very much. And मैं शायद बहुत कुछ कहने के लिए होगा, but I would like to summarize, my जो भी मैं इस पे कहना चाहूँगा. First of all, जिस चीज़ में I'm very much proud of in being with Lotte, we are 100%, 110%, the compliant company for anything, right? If you talk about taxation, 100% compliance. If you talk about the wages or any other, the practices, we are 100% compliant. This is the top, our priority and, the aim from the management and, the head office. So, जैसे अभी other colleagues were talking about, talk to people, feedback, and so हमारे केस में मैं ये देखता हूँ कि जब हम लोगों से बात करते हैं तो we don't feel any fear because हम किसी चीज़ में कुछ गलत नहीं कर रहे होते. So this is very much important point you need to see कि जब आप compliance में हर तरह से पूरे हैं और आप हर चीज़ को जो है according to rules and regulations लेके चलें, so you don't feel any hesitation to face your people. So आप बड़े मतलब openly and वो कहते हैं धड़ल्ले से लोगों में जा सकते हैं, उनसे बात कर सकते हैं, उनसे फीडबैक ले सकते हैं. सो दिस इज़ व्हाट एग्जैक्टली हैपनिंग इन आवर केस. हम लोगों से बात करते हैं, लोगों से मिलते हैं, उनका फीडबैक लेते हैं, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली ऑफ कोर्स वी एड्रेस द इश्यूज़. द चैलेंज particularly you were talking about when actually there was a transition from a local company to the multinational company, Lotte, जब इन्होंने acquire किया इसको. So a lot of practices from the head office, from abroad, of course, and localize them. So as you have rightly said, कि उसको localize भी करना है. So what exactly? So हमने देखना है कि वो बिल्कुल copy paste नहीं होना चाहिए. So we sat together and see कि what exactly suits us और हम उसको किस तरह थोड़ा सा hybrid भी कर सकते हैं और अपने लिए किस तरह suitable कर सकते हैं. So this is what we did. So in my opinion, any culture can evolve from anywhere, from any stage. It does not get any stage to maturity कि ये बस stagnant या कहीं रुक नहीं सकता है. From anywhere you can pick it up and take it further. Of course, उसमें challenges, problems, issues आते हैं, but I think when you do it with conviction and with full will, so you can do it. You can do it, and this is what we did. In the beginning, what happened? We realized we have a multi-directional kind of a culture. कोई एक डायरेक्शन में चीज़ें नहीं थी. Every department, every function is doing, you know, on his own things and try to, you know, cash their, you know, the objectives and, you know, their of course, targets. So उसको एक डायरेक्शन में लाना and एक कॉमन पर्पस के लिए हमें उनको इकट्ठा करना, that was the first challenge. So इसके लिए of course the leadership team sat together. As we normally say, this cultural change or this kind of organization change that happens from the top. I don't really believe this. मेरे ख्याल से this should be like, you know, at all levels, as I think Mr. Bilal also said that, because हर level पे कुछ ना कुछ अपना हो रहा होता है. So we need to take the ideas and the feedback. Again, I'm coming back to the same point. It's a feedback लेना, उनको सुनना, and then accordingly. What we do, actually, we follow the very clinical approach to address the cultural issues in our company. Clinical approach is most like, you know, the most of like the diagnostic first, what exactly issues we have and what we want to do, where we are and where we want to go. So हम कहाँ पे और कहाँ जाना चाह रहे हैं. So again, you need to have a greater purpose first,
Absolutely.
right? Where we want to go. And then we need to have a methodology for that.
Absolutely.
कैसे वहाँ पहुँचना है. And of course, you need to have a common language within the organization. Can be any buzzwords or, you know, for example, we are having a culture of like buddy culture हमारे में. Anybody can walk into any office anytime. For example, शायद companies में जो लोग हैं वो CEOs के साथ, chiefs के साथ शायद मुलाकात ही महीनों के बाद होती है, weeks के बाद होती है. But as far as like my company, मैं every second day I meet with my CEO, my CSO, who is my the Korean boss. Communication, continuous communication. And मैं उनसे समझ रहा होता हूँ what they are thinking. उनको बता रहे होते हैं कि what people are thinking. Situation क्या हो रही है. For example, अभी offline we were talking about the turnover thing in many companies. So in last 1.5 years, we faced a lot of challenge in turnover. लोग छोड़ के, especially people gone abroad,
Yeah.
कुछ चले गए. उससे काफ़ी gap create हो रहा था हमारे business में. So उसके लिए कुछ हमने strategies, फिर हमने सोचा आपस में बैठ के feedback from there. So we started meeting each and every individual. Myself, even an operator is leaving, I was meeting him myself. Okay, what exactly the problem you faced? क्या हुआ क्या? One of the guys, honestly, I must tell you, उसने कहा थोड़ा सा मुझे लगा कि मुझे थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है कि मैंने घर जाके भी मैं काम के बारे में सोच रहा हूँ. तो ये मेरा वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस को थोड़ा डिस्टर्ब कर रहा था. सो इमीडिएटली वी फिक्स द इशू. हमने देखा कि जो हमारी वीकली मीटिंग्स हो रही थी वो मंडे को हो रही थी. सो ऑन द वीकेंड एवरीबडी इज थिंकिंग अबाउट द मीटिंग एंड यू नो हाउ टू यू नो प्रेजेंट एंड व्हाट डेटा एंड व्हाट इन्फॉर्मेशन नीड टू. तो वो चल रहा है जहन में. सो एक्चुअली दैट स्पॉइल्स योर वीकेंड्स. फैमिली टाइम को स्पॉइल कर रहा था. सो हम इकट्ठे बैठे. वी एक्चुअली you know, transfer that meeting from Monday to Tuesday.
Right.
So you come on Monday, relax, and then you meet your people, first team, and then you prepare your agenda and prepare for the next day. So it helped us a lot. लोग बहुत relax हो गए.
Absolutely.
बहुत relax हो गए. वो meetings होनी भी है, ज़रूरी भी है, लेकिन उसकी timelines हमने सिर्फ. So another approach we followed, that was the leadership enriched culture, right? As we normally say, leaders cultivate leaders, right? So leader has to be at every stage, at every level. ये नहीं है कि सिर्फ leader is on the top guy and everybody is looking at the top side. So normally we call it the red culture.
Right.
कि बस एक ही बंदा जो है ना वो ही सारे फैसले कर रहा है. ऐसा नहीं है. Empowerment, delegation, इसके ऊपर बहुत काम किया हम लोगों ने. And we follow the approach of the thinking inside the box.
Good.
Normally we hear, think out of the box, but we started with thinking inside the box because the solutions are not always out of the box. Not sometimes, but what I believe most of the times, solutions are inside the box. So you just have to see. So it's so we actually for this approach, the time box approach, and then there was like space box approach, and we also followed like the ritual box.
Right.
Ritual box is when you come to the work, you come with the passion. You put your passion in your work. Ritual box, because whenever you go for the prayer, you always go with the same passion, right?
Right.
You cannot say to God कि आज मेरा मूड नहीं था, मैं आ गया हूँ, बस आज इतनी सी करूँगा जा रहा हूँ. No, 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 no. You go there with full like उसके साथ जाते हैं, and then you pray and you come back. And the time block of course, this has to be in place. We cannot leave things open-ended. No, timelines, deadlines. Of course, one has to meet.
Yeah.
उसका थोड़ा सा हमने उसको ऊपर किया, and of course the space box is like everything has to be in structured way, structured.
Absolutely.
So any meeting, any agenda, it has to be structured and very time limited. So this kind of actually practices we had to actually हमें करनी पड़ी. It was not before, कुछ नहीं था, and we faced a lot of challenges of course, but हमने alhamdulillah with these practices, with this like transformation, we are ahead of our competition. I was offline talking to my colleagues. Alhamdulillah, we are top in our market share. We are top in our customer service. We are top in our sales. So इस चीज़ का फ़ायदा उठाते हैं. Other industries are in trouble, but alhamdulillah we are making good everything. So उसका advantage लेते हुए, with the passage of time, what I've learned, I learned to be on the people's side, more on people's side.
Yeah.
Or people's side पे होके to convince the upper side, and of course that brings business back to the top side again.
Absolutely.
So that's my philosophy is. So, for example, we enhanced the benefits and other packages and everything. अगर किसी के 2 trips थे फॉरेन तो हमने उसको 6 कर दिया है अभी.
Wow.
अगर किसी का लोकल ट्रिप 3 थे तो हमने उसको 6 कर दिया है. अगर कुछ अलाउंसेस वगैरह कम थे तो हमने उनको एनहांस कर दिया. बिकॉज इफ द कंपनी इज मेकिंग मनी, दैट शुड ऑफ कोर्स डेफिनेटली गो टू द पीपल. एंड वजीहा राइटली सेड द आउटसाइड इन एंड इनसाइड आउट की हम जब बात करते हैं, ऑल्सो निशा सेड दैट आई थिंक वी नीड टू हैव अ कल्चर इनसाइड द कंपनी that must contribute to the society outside of your company.
Absolutely.
Right? So जब लोग बाहर जाएं तो वो ऐसी values, for example हमारी one of our values is the care. So वो care company के अंदर तो एक दूसरे के लिए है, लेकिन जब बाहर जाएं तो जब बाहर लोगों से मिले तो वो care वहाँ भी नज़र आनी चाहिए. Right? So with these kind of philosophies and practices, alhamdulillah we have done well so far. But still, there is a lot to do, and as I said, कि कोई इसकी वो कोई finishing stage नहीं है.
Yeah.
So I think I have taken a lot of
No, but
time
this was
already, so thank you very
absolutely
much for this.
excellent. And I personally believe that, just a very simple situation like shifting your weekly meeting from Monday to Tuesday, it sounds simple, but it's actually the most effective strategy that any organization could practically come up with. Because it is true that, people who are working, especially in such cutthroat, competitive environments, most of the weekends are actually consumed thinking that, okay, you have to present yourself on a Monday. So Friday you get off, Saturday is the only cushion, and Sunday you're, again, I read something really funny, that Sunday is actually, Monday is the ugly sister of Sunday.
Yeah.
So, wonderful. Thank you, Mashkur. So my next question is for Farah Zahir. Farah, how does Telenor's approach to workplace culture address the unique challenges faced by HR business partners? And according to you, what initiatives have proven to be most effective?
Right, so hello everyone,
Hello.
Thank you for the question. At Telenor, we basically believe that the culture comes from within. We are all the people who make the culture. Culture bahir se nahi aa raha, kisi package mein.
Absolutely.
We are the culture that Telenor has. So each one of us is the ambassador of our own culture. We carry it, we live it, we exemplify that kind of behavior and value and mindset that is the Telenor culture. We take a lot of pride in our culture. Telenor's culture is of care and concern. We put care and concern for employees as #1 priority. We believe in ownership. We believe in our values. So every year, since the past 2 years, we have been going out into to everybody from the CEO to the job group 1 person, the officer in the organization. They go through this mindsets workshop that we have that takes care of 3 of our biggest mindsets that we value at Telenor, which includes ownership, collaboration, sense of urgency. And these mindsets are exemplified and carried on every day. Then we have our values roadshows. We have something that I believe is the biggest initiative that we have is workplace flexibility, hybrid way of work. We also look at exceptions where we give, some sort of remote work to employees who need that. So for Telenor, it's very important to understand what situation the employee is in. We as HR business partners cannot work if we don't have the pulse of employees.
Yeah.
So it's very important for us to connect with employees, to know what their challenges are, how we can facilitate them, what initiatives can we take in order to deal with their day-to-day challenges. So the work-life balance has now evolved into work-life integration. Because
Wonderful.
we don't just focus on balancing it, we integrate these two together so that employees are able to perform at work and in their personal lives as well. So for us, it's not just about mat leave, paternity leave. In future, we might be looking at grandparent leave as well. So there are multiple kinds of initiatives we look at. We benchmark with global policies. And so yeah, for us at Telenor, initiatives are just a matter of the need. It comes from the employee need.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Farah. Okay, my question is for Faraz Aslam now. Faraz, in what ways do you believe that diversity and inclusion initiatives should contribute to a more dynamic and evolving workplace culture?
Thank you very much, Fatima. First of all, thank you very much to the organizers, Hassan Raza and Ibrahim Butt. I think it's a great initiative which you guys have taken, because in Pakistan we were really missing out to showcase our talent and of course to showcase our culture to the international audience as well as local audience. Why I'm saying it? Because there's a lot of, let's say, reservoir of knowledge which was only previously in some companies or some professionals in HR organizations. But जब हम इस तरह के forums करते हैं तो we come to know about the diversity and inclusiveness, that how other organizations are doing, what are the best practices. Now coming back to your question on diversity and inclusiveness, तो आज मौसम लाहौर का ज़रा हसीन है, तो मुझे हसन ने कहा था कि कोई शेर आपने ज़रूर सुनाना है. एक तो मेरा नाम भी फराज है, तो ऑल्दो मैं शायर नहीं हूँ, लेकिन इस वजह से नहीं, ये पकड़े वाले नहीं हैं, ये शायरी वाले हैं, लेकिन वो मजबूरी बन गई ना कि नाम इस तरह का है. तो फराज ने कहा है डाइवर्सिटी पे ही कहा है बाय द वे. वो कहता है कि तुम तकल्लुफ़ को भी इखलास समझते हो फराज, दोस्त होता नहीं हर हाथ मिलाने वाला. So I think diversity and inclusion is actually in this context very important. Normally हम culture के बारे में समझते हैं कि जी जैसे बिलाल ने, वजीहा ने, मशकूर साहब ने, निशे ने, फरा ने बड़ा अच्छा कवर किया कि diversity means and inclusion means that you actually are not only talking about policies and procedures. It is, Mashkoor Saab ne kaha, it is not only out of the box, it is within the box. Yeah. And then Farah mentioned that it is actually the inside of the employees, what are they thinking and how are they behaving. So, because from corporate multinational companies to now this role of leadership development as a trainer and as a consultant, since I interact with lots of organizations, multinationals as well as local organizations, and one observation, Fatma, I would like to share with all the audience, that every organization is at a different stage of maturity. कुछ जो हैं वो बिल्कुल बिगिनिंग में हैं, उनके लिए वैल्यूज़ और कल्चर इज़ आर न्यू टर्म्स. Some are actually the, let's say, the torch bearers and the beacons of these terms and practices. I would like to quote Peter Senge, who's actually the authority on systems thinking. Now, Peter says that basically, what is system? When you go and you look out for a system, by the way, his book of Fifth Discipline is on the same topic, how to transform cultures. And he also talks about personal mastery, by the way, which is also one of my flagship programs on self-leadership. Because I bring down back it to your personal contribution to the organization.
Right.
What is a system? Now, if you go and ask anybody कि यार ये system की वजह से हम आपके साथ फलां काम नहीं कर सकते ना, so where is the system? If you ask where is the system, the person would say, yeah, I cannot show you the system, but system जो है वो होता है. So I think जो system है उसके पीछे भी individuals हैं. और वो individuals जो हैं वो या तो अपने maturity curve की वजह से या कुछ practices की वजह से या फिर exposure की वजह से they are not realizing that how important it is to bring new positive values in the organization. Hence जो आपका जो self है उसको groom करना और culture को वापस individual पे लेके आना. Because imagine एक बंदा HR में ही बैठ करके जो एक policy draft कर रहा है, CEO को या board को वो consult कर रहा है और advisor के तौर पे अपनी पेश कर रहा है, let's say recommendations. Now this person is not sensitized for diversity and inclusion.
Yeah.
Now what happens is that this probably person would miss out, not because intentionally, but because there's a knowledge gap.
Yeah.
There is a best practice sharing gap. So this person would probably recommend to the board that we should maybe do few practices which are against diversity and inclusion. So hence my recommendation is कि हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ी I would say एक बहुत बड़ी opportunity है ऐसे forums में आना कि अगर हमने कोई formal education नहीं हासिल की, कोई degree ऐसी नहीं ली, frankly HR के professionals यहाँ पे काफ़ी सारे बैठे हुए हैं and I am very happy with the turnout. So normally what happens is कि HR के लोग जो हैं वो भी sometimes उन्होंने कोई culture के ऊपर कोई formal degree नहीं ली हुई होती या उनका subject नहीं होता, तो लेकिन उन्हें culture को जो है वो handle करना पड़ता है organization में. So I would recommend that if you have not done any formal education in culture, diversity and values, it's still not too late. You should join in such forums. You should discuss and openly explore that what actually culture is. Now if I ask my audience कि आपके ख्याल में ये culture क्या होता है, तो I'm sure we will have, अगर 100 लोग यहाँ बैठे हैं तो 100 definitions आ जाएंगी. किसी के ख्याल में culture जो होगा वो employee को पहले दिन आने पे बुके देना होगा, कोई जो है उसको sweets और chocolates को culture कह रहा होगा. But actually as a psychologist, as an organizational psychologist, this has been my area of interest. That what is culture? Culture is basically an interaction between two or more people.
True.
How are they behaving? How are they doing things in this organization?
Right.
As Farah mentioned and also other colleagues, कि जो care है इसका नाम हम सुनते हैं बहुत कि जी organizations जो हैं हमारी caring organizations हैं. We are talking about looking after our people. It's music to my ears because as a consultant, I mean in Pakistan इस तरह की बातें सुनना मुझे लगता है कि wow, I mean अच्छा ये भी है ना. So thumbs up. But matter of fact is कि वो हम जिस generation से मैं हूँ Gen X I would say, so उसके बाद Gen Y, Gen Z और अब millennials आ गए हैं. So what happens is कि when we were learning HR, तो हमें ये बताया जाता था कि you have to show up on Monday right at 8 a.m. so then that means you're a good employee. And now you are telling me no, Monday is fine, if you can take off, it's okay, you can work from home. So वो मुझे याद आया, there's a beautiful एक है proverb सा, when I knew all lifetime answers, they changed the questions. जो तो study वाली आई तो उन्होंने सवाल ही बदल दिए हैं ना. सो नो अब हम बिल्कुल ही अच्छा वही सारी अंग्रेजी जो हमने चेंज करनी पड़ेगी है सुबह से शाम होते होते ना. तो उसके ऊपर एक और शेर मुझे याद आ गया, देन आई विल रैप अप माय टॉक. दैट इज़ दैट यूं ही मौसम की अदा देख कर याद आया, यूं ही मौसम की अदा देख कर याद आया, किस कदर जल्द बदल जाते हैं इंसान जाना.
Wonderful.
So the ability of people to change their behaviors if they want to, that is the actually bottom line.
Absolutely.
If they want, nobody can change behaviors or culture by sending an email or even conducting a road show or maybe all of these things.
True.
So eventually we have to take people on board. We have to have their buy-in. जब अपना buy-in वो होगा उसका कि हाँ मैं इसको I am signing up for this particular cultural value of diversity and inclusion. Only then that will become part and parcel of the organizational culture. And last but not the least, I'm sure we have lots of मुझे शेर ज़हन में आ रहे हैं, but I'll leave it for the next round if we have one. So to sum up, I think diversity and inclusion
Yeah.
is not only a matter of policy.
Yeah.
It is about not only a matter of organizational, let's say, procedures.
Yeah.
It is more to do with everyone signing it up and owning it, ownership culture, and ensuring that these practices will help organizations to make more profit. Bottom
Absolutely.
line. Thank you very much.
Wonderful, excellent. Right. So I'd like to ask all the panelists, any one of you feel free to chime in. So the question that I have for all of you, what emerging trends do you foresee having the greatest impact on workplace culture? And how are you preparing your organizations to adapt to these changes? Who would like to take this question? Or perhaps just share a sentence or two or three or four, one by one. Farah, do you perhaps want to start?
Right, so we prioritize mental health, and that is something that we will be actively working on. We do have counselors on board. I think mental health is one thing that we will prioritize.
Yeah.
And we can have initiatives around it. We do have counselors, and it will be something that all the organizations should and eventually will look into. Because I think after post-COVID, mental health has been one of the priorities for most organizations. It has been a challenge for people.
Very nice.
So yeah.
Okay, Faraz, do you perhaps want to share a line of Sher or Shairi for this question?
Yeah, so I think you have had me. शेर ही सुना देता हूँ फिर मैं आपको. वो कहता है कि ये जो लाहौर से मोहब्बत है, ये किसी और से मोहब्बत है. ये जो लाहौर से मोहब्बत है, ये किसी और से मोहब्बत है. ये लाहौर वाले काफ़ी सैटरडे इवनिंग को आई एम सरप्राइज कि आप इतने वलवले से और शौक से इस शाम को आकर के यू आर एंजॉइंग दिस टॉक. सो बिग थम्स अप टू एवरीवन. एंड तो कहता है ये जो लाहौर से मोहब्बत है, ये किसी और से मोहब्बत है. वो और कोई और है शायद जिस और से मोहब्बत है. मुझे एक तहजीब है मकसूद, मुझे एक दौर से मोहब्बत है. सो आई वुड से दैट जो कल्चर है, जो तहजीब है, असल में हमें उससे मोहब्बत होती है. हमें ब्रिक्स से या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के ब्रिक मॉर्टर स्ट्रक्चर से हमारी एसोसिएशन या वो यूँ कहना चाहिए कि हमारी फीलिंग्स नहीं होती. दिस इज़ द पीपल. And I tell you, Fatma, that when organizations, people in organizations, people, WhatsApp's beautiful name of people is also now very close to my heart, because people have to be in the center of the entire experience of organization. Because if it is money, I tell you, money will, you will have losses or you will have profits.
Absolutely.
But if you have people, then you will have a sustainable organization which will ensure that profit is also sustainable and people are also enjoying a livelihood. So that's my precise answer.
Absolutely, wonderful, yes.
Thank you, Parag. I would also like to add a couple of points here. As Faraz mentioned, जब भी हम कोई change की तरफ जा रहे हैं, as a cultural change, whatever, yes, it should not be like fastest change करना है या फौरी change करना है या हमने immediate करना है. It should be a sustainable change.
True.
Sustainable change. True. So what happens? Normally, this is. I'm sorry. This problem is हमारे लोगों के साथ है कि हम लोग जो है वो एक वेव आती है सुबह कि ये फ़लाँ कंपनी में हो रहा है तो हमने भी करना है इसको ना. So वो हम आते हैं और उसको पोस्ट कर देते हैं. And then next day we forget about it, right? So इससे क्या होता है, आपके एम्प्लॉइज़, आपके लोग, दे डोंट आई मीन वो ट्रस्ट नहीं करते आपकी चीज़ों पे कि यार ये तो कोई ऐसी चीज़ नहीं कि जो कंटिन्यू भी रहती है. ये तो दे एंड ओनरशिप की बात हो रही थी, तो ओनरशिप इज़ नॉट ओनली द एम्प्लॉय साइड, इट्स ऑल्सो ऑन द एम्प्लॉयर साइड, कंपनी साइड. व्हाटएवर यू से, व्हाटएवर यू इंट्रोड्यूस, आप उसको फिर ओन करें, राइट? This is how the employee trust you, right? So once they trust you, they will give you their best,
Yeah.
right? And हम जिस चीज़ की तरफ और ज़्यादा जाना चाह रहे हैं, as you mentioned, वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस, जैसे मैंने कहा, एक केस मेरे पास आया इन लास्ट 2 years. सो उस वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस को हमने और उसको हम डीपली देखने के साथ. सो ऑनेस्टली इफ़ आई ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं यहाँ पे, मैंने आज तक 6 बजे के बाद अपने बॉसेस से मैंने अपने लिए कभी मैसेज नहीं आया मुझे
Right.
काम के लिए कि वो काम था और वो मंडे को होना है या वो संडे को. आई नेवर गेट एनी मैसेज फ्रॉम.
Yeah.
वो मुझे मैसेज क्या करते हैं कि व्हाट अबाउट द गोल्फ दिस वीकेंड,
True. Yeah.
क्या प्लान है, व्हाट अबाउट योर फैमिली प्लान्स दिस वीकेंड, आर यू गोइंग
Yeah.
आउट स्टेशन और you are in Lahore. And on weekends मतलब पॉसिबल नहीं है कि आप काम के बारे में बात करें अपने आपस में, सो इसने आई थिंक बहुत जो है वो कंट्रीब्यूट किया है हमारे बिजनेस को ग्रो करने में, टीम्स को डेवलप करने में, सिस्टम्स को इम्प्रूव करने में.
Yeah.
And this is what I think everybody should look into and follow this kind of the philosophies and the culture or whatever the
Absolutely.
practices.
Absolutely.
And as Vajiha said earlier, हम मॉडर्न एचआर की बात करते हैं, हम लोग बहुत ही वो बुकिश बाज़ दफ़ा भी हो जाते हैं कि ये
Yeah.
प्रैक्टिस, ये थ्योरी इस तरह. I think we need to talk about more the practical HR.
Yeah.
What practically suits your organization.
Yeah.
आप कहाँ तक जा सकते हैं, क्या कर
Yeah.
सकते हैं. Within that, whatever you do with the full conviction and with some purpose करें.
Yeah.
So I think you will be able to do it.
Wonderful, Mashkoor. Would you perhaps want to shed some light on the question? Each one of you, Nisha?
You want to go ahead?
Talk about, and I have to always go back to the question, right?
Yeah.
Is it's about newer trends that we're seeing for companies?
I mean, if you
right?
would like to give a newer perspective, I think that would be brilliant.
No, so something that Vijaya was saying, very important. It is the role of technology.
Yeah.
Understanding what kind of technology, automation, and even before that, simplification
Yeah.
works for your organization and your people. So that is an absolute trend.
Yeah.
But instead of jumping on the bandwagon, it is really understanding what kind of technology you need. If everybody is saying AI,
Yeah.
what does that mean for you? Generative AI? How does that work? Does that even translate?
Exactly.
So that's the first thing. Technology is the trend that you need to assess. The second one is people who are entering the workforce today are very different from people who entered the workforce 5 years ago or 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
one thing that is very, very important is they need to see a purpose.
Yeah.
A company is not just an office space they're coming to earn money. They are looking for something to put their energies towards.
Yeah.
So as a company, what do you believe in?
Yeah.
This can be related to the products that you have, the services that you offer, and how you position yourself in the community in which you operate.
Yep.
So are you being mindful of the country, of
Yeah.
the people, of the space, of the neighborhood that you occupy? And this is something that we were discussing as well, and something that I get to hear a lot about. So that's purpose. We need to provide a purpose, because just giving an excellent compensation and benefit package is not something that's going to retain the employees
Absolutely.
of today. Last, if I'm to talk about trends, there is a need to have a conversation on work-life balance, and I absolutely agree. There is no work-life balance. I think this conversation is moot. There is work-life integration. As a board member of Women in BAT, I asked a question to some of our senior women leaders. I said, can women have it all? And one of them said something very interesting. They said, yes, but not at the same time.
Excellent.
When you're entering the workforce, you're going to have a lot of time.
Excellent. Yeah.
And perhaps most of your time is spent at work because you
Yeah.
have great aspirations. And you can.
Yeah.
Things might start slowing down. And what I want to say is that as businesses, as leaders, as companies, we need to be mindful that every person's trajectory is going to be very squiggly.
Absolutely.
So the trend is to embrace the squiggly career line. At BAT, GBS, BAT as a whole, you don't need to have a degree, a formal degree to apply. You need to have the skill set. You don't need to have X number of years. It's the quality of experience. So the new trend is, I think, embracing that squiggly career, right? It's embracing that
Amazing, yeah.
change in thinking and in mentality.
Yeah.
So those are going to be the three for me, right?
Yeah. Excellent, Nisha.
Thanks.
One more thing to answer question, earlier
Yeah.
you asked about what we are focusing on for the future regarding the culture. I think in my experience when I was working as an HRBP and service sales corporations, I worked with Salim Khan sir. Most of the people might be knowing he is from ICI. So he was a consultant for SSC. So at that time I actually worked with him and he helped me in getting some authority in my work.
Right.
The autonomy, I'm talking about the autonomy by the way. So in our organization right now with diversified businesses, we have less time and we have so much to catch in terms of the growth. So Alhamdulillah, in all aspects, the company is growing very well. We are like 85 billion plus company right now. But the thing is, we are actually trying to delegate the authorities to the people who we have. As an HR person, आप सब लोगों के जहनों में एक सवाल होगा कि we are talking about the policies, the culture, how do we do it? We talk to the senior management and the CEOs and they come down and they say, you should have these kind of practices और इस तरह करें तो करते कैसे हैं? हम इसको करते कैसे हैं? वो आप इस तरह कर सकते हैं कि that you delegate authorities to your subordinates.
Yeah.
Management level positions, middle management positions, you tell them that you make some decisions. कहीं वो fruitful होंगे, कहीं पे वो fruitful नहीं होंगे. So that makes a culture. आप उसको when you work as a coach for your team, so the process gets slow. Coaching में you get time, you take time to teach people. So लेकिन उसका फ़ायदा होता है. Because you are making a culture within your organization. If you see the organization as a pyramid, at the top of the pyramid, we always say and we always hear that culture change comes from the top. Achha, to some extent, I agree to that with 60 to 70%. The top management has to make some changes because they have the liberty and they have the autonomy to make decisions. But in the middle management, in the departments, we have seen there are pockets of culture as well. Marketing, business and processes, audit, accounts, HR, IT, every department has different culture within themselves, right? So आप वहाँ पे जब autonomy pass on करेंगे, अपने staff को authority देंगे to make decisions, और everybody make mistakes. We do make mistakes, openly saying. So the thing is, वहाँ पे आपका culture of trust develop होगा. So if we are lacking trust within our organizations, people will face fear. They will not make decisions. They will end up having a psychological effect of negative perceptions because they have taken some failures within the workplace or in the past and they are being snubbed or they are not being promoted. उनको appreciate नहीं किया गया. So if somebody make mistakes, मेरा मानना ये है, कुछ भी हो जाए तो कुछ नहीं होता, right? True. Nothing happens. Time goes on. So keep on telling your people to make decisions. So we are focusing in our diversified businesses. Okay, whatever you try to make, you bring it up. You try to implement within your department. Start within yourself. HR is there to help you out. So delegation and giving autonomy to the people is the core thing that we are focusing right now for the coming 2 years minimum.
Right,
Ji.
excellent.
Ji.
Wajiha?
I think I will just make it very short, and I'll just relate it to what just Nisha said.
Yeah.
So when she talked about technology, so the shift that we have right now, we have offices across in 33 locations, right? So now for teams, I don't have to attend a meeting. I can simply have an autopilot who summarizes everything for me.
Yeah.
So if I am an optional attendee, the technology is there to help me. I don't have to listen to or read a transcript for 1 hour. It is very useful. Yeah. Similarly, when we talk about intranet that everyone uses to share documents, I just go to web and I go to company and then I say, I am looking for this document. And then I have it.
Yeah.
It is a very khushgawar
Right.
experience for me
Yeah.
because it cuts through so much time
Yeah.
of research. So that
Yeah.
is where I built on what Nishi said. In terms of another thing she said towards the very end, and I find it very interesting because that's a discussion that I have with my son, older one, who hates math.
Yeah.
And I tell him कि तुमने पढ़ना है because it is required, because तुम्हें bachelor's में admission नहीं मिलेगा.
Yeah.
He asks a very valid question every time. I love literature. I understand Shakespeare. I want to write. I want to write stories for games.
Yeah.
Why I need maths?
Yeah.
Because somebody said I need to do maths.
Exactly.
And then he has a huge intellectual, conflict with the, content that is Cambridge English literature.
yeah.
That it is all around women powerful, women weak, and slavery. There are so many different genres. Why they are not incorporated?
Yep.
I'm not interested in that. Why should I not have the liberty to do that?
Yeah.
Now, I think one trend which hopefully in my career, I hopefully get to see in Pakistan, but I think if it's happening in BAT, it is some because it didn't happen when I worked for you guys, is because that we needed to have a degree and we needed to have an X
Yeah.
and Y numbers of years of experience.
Yeah.
So I think जिसको कहते हैं ना फराज साहब की तरह मुझे इतने शेर व शायरी तो नहीं आती but मैं उर्दू का एक लफ्ज़ कह सकती हूँ. It felt really good to know
Yeah.
that there are companies in Pakistan
True.
who are basically जो हम HR के अंदर जाके डब्बों में बात करते हैं competency models की.
Absolutely.
कि आपका skill set क्या है? Don't look at the degree, see what is your competency.
Yeah.
So that shift in terms of looking at what your potential is and
Yeah.
what your competency is and developing that.
Yes.
I think some companies are doing that. Internationally, that's being done. Hopefully, before I retire, I get to see that in Pakistan also.
You will. Let's hope for that.
I will not retire.
Okay. So I know, and I'm assuming that we're kind of like running against time, even though I'm absolutely, and I'm sure members of the audience are absolutely loving the session. However, I personally believe that this is one important question which must be addressed because when COVID happened, it has kind of like altered and changed everybody's mindset, mental perception of remote, hybrid, in person. Because, for example, most of the individuals who are usually applying on LinkedIn or any sort of job portal, now a lot of graduates or I don't know, anyone just looking to switch a job, they actually see that if this job is available on remote basis. So even though I know, Farha, you have made it very clear, and it's absolutely great that Farha, as aforementioned, she said that Telenor gives you the platform to be employed as a remote worker. And what's more interesting is when I was having a conversation with Farha and I asked her, but if you are a remote worker living in Pakistan, would that kind of like mean that the salary would be compromised as compared to a person who's going in person to the office? And she said, no. You are hired as a normal employee and the salary is not budged at all. So my question is that because the trends have changed, so how has remote work influenced the evolution of workplace culture in your respective organizations, and what measures have you implemented to maintain employee engagement and productivity?
Just before you start, I just wanted to, further build on that. So as per policy, if we go back into the policies and procedures, there is always a room for exception. And when we look at certain cases, we review that and understand what is the reason for remote work and how it's going to impact the work. At the end of the day, remote work is very much doable if it's not impacting your work, if it doesn't impact the interactions you're supposed to be having. COVID has evolved us in a way that we now are very comfortable working hybrid, working from home, working from anywhere actually. There is no base location that is required. You can work from anywhere, as long as you're working and getting work done at the end of the day. So yeah, just wanted to add that.
So I think I would like to add one thing over here. Interestingly, before I moved to the consulting side, COVID just happened, and I was employed by this German organization, Siemens. I was in their global leadership team. So I actually went through that phase where we were looking at the policies and procedures, how to absorb in the COVID work style. तो फ्रैंकली मैंने दो ऑब्जर्वेशंस मैं आपसे शेयर करूंगा. एक तो ये कि world has definitely changed post-COVID in terms of realization
Yeah.
that work is more important rather than the location. Yeah?
Excellent.
So that's like, where are you working from? And I'm not saying that okay, home or office, it's even that which city or which country.
Absolutely.
So organizations like multinationals have pushed this agenda, and I'm sure that the organizations in Pakistan have also realized that kaam nahi rukta, even if you are working from anywhere. This is not point number one. Second observation is, which by the way Farah also highlighted previously, is the mental health thing.
Yes.
COVID has kind of triggered, and I would say rather made it more obvious that mental health is a topic.
Yes.
Previously, if you would talk about mental health in organization, I have a background in psychology, and I know how hard and difficult it has been to even to tell someone that I'm a psychologist. Before 2020, they would say, oh, okay, fine. So, but now I can say it with pride that I have double degree in organization psychology and counseling psychology and HR. So which is a value added, because now organizations have started realizing that employees' mental health and well-being and psychological safety are the top priority. So like I said earlier, that it depends where the organization is at this moment in their maturity curve to understand these changes and implement this. One thing is for sure, sooner the better. If you implement these practices, your organization's revenue and profitability is not only correlated, but in fact it is actually as a cause and effect direct relationship.
Absolutely,
So hence
yeah.
you transform the life of people,
Yeah.
you look after them, you take care of them. Caring should be your motto, and hence this advantage of the new paradigm shift will definitely yield results and profitability to the organizations as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nisha?
There are two words that encompass what's happening. You need to have more opportunities and you need to have more options. As part of having more options, now hybrid ways of working is an expectation.
Yes.
It is not something that is exactly, it's not an extra, it's not an add-on. It is what people expect as a baseline. And why shouldn't they?
Exactly.
Everybody's an adult. The expectation is that you know your work, that you manage your stakeholders, that you utilize the opportunities that have been provided to you. So one of the options is remote work. You don't really need to be in the office. The future of work is also flexible work, part-time work.
Absolutely.
Senior, seasoned professionals need not be contributing 8 to 10 hours of their day, maybe just 5 hours.
Yeah.
You start at 9 or at 8 and you clock out at 12.
Absolutely.
Because the number of hours you spent at a job is not really a reflection of the quality of work that you do.
Absolutely.
So options, that's going to be number one in terms of facilities, right? In terms of options, I think also providing a office space becomes important because not everybody works the same. COVID taught us the value that you don't need to see your direct employees to know that they're working. But also, it sparked a need in people to come back and reconnect.
Absolutely.
You know, the idea was, I feed off of energy of others. There are people who do. And we were discussing how opposite we are. And that is what diversity is about. But what do companies do about accommodating diverse individuals? It's to give them different spaces to connect. So that is going to be an option. Opportunity. Something that we said, BAT, you know, you work on the world stage in the comfort of your own home.
Yeah.
Because you're part of the Japanese team, or you're part of the South Korean team, or you're part of the Australian team, or New Zealand. But you still get to have your own food, and you still get to meet your parents, and you still get to hang out with your friends. The idea is the workplace of today needs to cater to these demands. And it's not because it's a good to have, it's a must to have. Otherwise, you will be left behind, and people will find something better. So why not provide that here in Pakistan before our very talented workforce, our very talented friends and family members are forced out? And I think that's the effort that is being undertaken by each and every person and their organizations. I know I've said a bit much, but this is something that's sort of a duh moment, and the more I have to say and the more people have to say about it, I'm just like, it's no longer a conversation now, you just do.
Absolutely agreed. Your feedback? Yes, of course. Of course, of course. I did tell everyone that there will be a lot of applauses, so I did give a disclaimer on that.
But I have a different opinion
Sure.
on this point. It depends what kind of business you have,
Yeah.
right? So remote work is not always, for every business, right? And even within that, particular business, you have to see which work can be put on remote, job. For example, IT people, they can do their job remotely. However, in production or the logistics,
Yes.
they have to be there to
course.
ensure the operations are, being done properly and so on. So, yes, as far as the technology is concerned, yes, the future is, of course, the technology. For example, we really discourage, people coming and, marking their attendance on machines. We have given them, like, the app on phone. They can do it, when they come to your office, and automatically it gets your attendance or sort of. And for the meetings, even somebody is traveling, while traveling in his car, he can attend the meeting and no problem. So he just have to be in the meeting, not in the office.
Right.
And this is how, we are, trying to taking advantage of the technology, of course, and coming. So yes, technology is going to be like the major shift
Yeah.
in your business in coming
Right.
future years.
Wonderful. Wajiha?
I will just like to build up on one point that I find very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm somebody who worked for an organization when in 2012
Yeah.
I was working from home.
Yeah.
In my current role, it's a hybrid role.
Right.
And in between, because I have worked in different sectors and different, so I have also worked for organization where unless you're sitting in the office, you are not really working.
Right.
With but even in those scenarios, my thought process was as long as the work is delivered,
Yeah.
I really just don't have the bandwidth to micromanage. But being an HR person, I can also comment that if somebody asks me, even today, with all due respect, I will say it is an option in an organization where the people of the organization also have a sense of accountability.
True.
And they deliver.
Absolutely.
They don't need to be micromanaged, because as an HR person, you also have seen people who just log in and then they just keep just doing this
Absolutely.
to, look that they are present.
Working,
So
exactly.
we all have histories. We all want to see all the nice stuff. But as a business partner, there's also stuff where you always have that particular percentage. So if on the curve your organization is at that level of maturity where people take accountability, so yes, whatever freedom you give them, as an HR, I will recommend such things in that organization, because at the end of the day, HR needs to align with the business in terms of profit maximization and productivity and delivery. At the end of the day,
Right.
we are the bridge. So that is my thought process of it. So it's 50-50. I feel it's a right that still needs to be earned.
Yes, absolutely.
The second thing, in terms of the original question yourself, the only trend that I have seen is now that, especially in organization with remote working and technology and having those connect, one thing nobody speaks but is very important is crisis management.
Absolutely.
When you are working, especially across different geographical, sites. So for instance, when we had in May, रात के 8 बजे ग्रुप्स में पूछ रहे थे कल छुट्टी है कि नहीं है, right? कल
Yeah.
छुट्टी है, ऑफिस खोलना है कि नहीं है, and we were going crazy because in Pakistan you do get those notification और फिर आप check कर रहे हो तो ये original है या नहीं.
Yeah.
Again, 28 में, right? So रात के 10 बजे मैंने वो notification निकाली है. Now that means my site works with 32 sites.
Right.
And people in my office are reporting into people in other offices.
Right.
Now, that was a learning opportunity for us that, okay, fine, next time, if such kind of खुशगवार छुट्टी comes
Right.
my way as an HR person, how I need to make sure A, everyone is informed, B, how am I going to train the people
Yes,
that
absolutely.
how they also need to be accountable, and they also communicate to relevant because they need to clear the calendars because it's a Swiss company. तो मेरी आज छुट्टी है तो जो भी है मैं तो नहीं आ रहा.
Right.
So the mindset is very European. So if it's
Right.
my day off, I don't care what the reason is. I am not attending this meeting, and nobody can make me.
Exactly.
Your
true.
time off is time off, right? हमारी तरह नहीं, when you work for a certain organization, Saturday को भी कॉलेज ले
Yeah.
रहे हैं और वो करें.
Yeah.
Pakistan is a mixed bag,
Yes.
right? So अब उसके अंदर they need to know. The stakeholders need to know. So there need to be a proper mechanism for that. So I think a lot of things that technology does bring
Yeah.
is those kind of remotely connected relationships
Yeah.
and interdependencies in terms
Yeah.
of the works and teams.
Right.
So if there is any upset, there needs to be a proper plan in place how other sides and other people need to react, what are the roles and responsibility, so overall the business is not impacted.
Right. Wonderful, Wajiha. Wonderful. Bilal, last question.
Shortly, I'm going to second Wajiha on that,
Yeah.
the accountability part. After post-COVID activities or hybrid models and working from home and not part of the office culture anymore, it depends upon the industry as well, as Mashkoor said already. Kyunki if you're working as a developer for real estate division, so you have infrastructure and building engineering teams all across, and they need to work on ground, right?
Absolutely.
But yes, at the same time, we have school system and we have IT company as well. So those people can work from home. But what does it give an impact on the culture, by the way? What I felt like, okay, people need, comfort, satisfaction, reliability of the organization, that उनकी compensations और उनके work style और उनके benefits would not be compromised, and that what we have done in the past.
Right.
Secondly, the teamwork thing. एक है performance as a team, collective performance, and एक है performance by individuals, right?
Right.
So if you go on hybrid model, so hybrid model में sometimes the decisions are being made by sole entities.
Yeah.
So वहाँ पे you lack something in terms of accountability, like Wajiha said. So if the accountability is of less measure, so वहाँ पे individual performance ज़्यादा impact होती है और फिर एक team performance का result कम आएगा, right?
Right.
Like the way we do, we are actually used to of having office culture and team building, on ground activities and deliverance. So hybrid के अंदर there are some flaws as well, but yes, on the other side it depends upon the industry, by the way. So I'll second Telenor and BAT and Faraz Saab on that कि it is a cultural mindset कि हम पाकिस्तान में हम क्या कर रहे हैं और वो कौन से good practices हैं जो कि हम adapt कर सकते हैं as an organization. It's about the
Right.
culture, environment and industry.
Right.
जी.
Right. Wonderful. Thank you so much for the wonderful answers. Ladies and gentlemen, we have like a couple of minutes left. We can take 4 questions. Please feel free to raise your hands. Okay, wonderful. We'll take 4 questions one by one. We have 3 volunteers right now, sir. We'll start with you. Wonderful. Yes, sir.
It's been 23 years I'm into the law practice, so I'm not from the HR primarily, but I have done a lot of HR work, multinationals के HR manuals को पाकिस्तानी law और procedure के साथ in compliance लाना and all, and you know. My question is that ये एक नया ट्रेंड स्टार्ट हो, इंग्लिश में मैं बात कर सकता हूँ, बट फॉर द कन्वीनियंस ऑफ एवरीबॉडी और बहुत हैवीली इंग्लिश, वी आर नॉट लाइक यूज टू दिस काइंड ऑफ कॉन्फ्रेंस, बोरिंग हो जाता है. एक जो नया ट्रेंड स्टार्ट हो गया है मेजॉरिटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में, लाइक इट्स ऑन इन द जुडिशरी, लीगल साइड, मल्टीनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस एंड ऑल अदर्स, कि कुछ पार्डन माय लैंग्वेज बट यू नो मेरे हिसाब से नालायक लोग टॉप पे आके लायक लोगों के लिए कुंडी लगा लेते हैं, या कोई एक आधा लायक आदमी अगर बोर्ड पे या टॉप मैनेजमेंट में है तो उसको तरीके से एल्बो आउट करके घर भेज देते हैं ताकि हमारी नालायकियाँ एक्सपोज ना हों टूवर्ड्स द क्लाइंट एंड विद इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. सो इस चीज़ को आप किस तरह देख रहे हैं, जो बेंचमार्क बनता जा रहा है कि अगर आप फॉरेन क्वालिफाइड हैं तो ही आप प्रोग्रेस करेंगे, और 3-4 फॉरेन क्वालिफाइड अगर बोर्ड पे आ गए हैं तो वो एक नॉन फॉरेन क्वालिफाइड को, बेशक उसके पास 20 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है और वो ज़्यादा सेंस मेक करता है, उसको ऑन बोर्ड नहीं लेते। और ये अनदर ट्रेंड विच वी आर सीइंग, जो फराज भाई ने बिल्कुल ठीक कहा कि हमारी दफ़ा सवाल बदल दिए जाते हैं। आप 10 साल में मास्टर डिग्री नहीं ले सकते, लाइक आपने नर्सरी से लेके 16, 17, 18 साल की एजुकेशन के बाद मास्टर्स करने, एंड देयर आर रीजंस एंड बेंचमार्क्स फॉर दैट, और फिर आपकी प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ स्टार्ट होती है। और वो जो एक कन्वेंशनल विजडम थी कि इतने एक साल के एक्सपीरियंस के साथ आपको एक हेड बनाया जाएगा, मैं बिल्कुल काबिलियत के ख़िलाफ़ नहीं हूँ। मैं समझता हूँ 22 साल की उम्र में जब मैं लॉयर बना था, मैं बहुत ज़्यादा लायक था, लॉज मेरी टिप्स पे थे, केस लॉज मेरी टिप्स पे थे। आज मैं नालायक हो गया हूँ कदरे, मगर जिस तरह की विजडम मेरे में आज आ गई है वो उस वक़्त नहीं थी। ठहराओ, पेशेंस, एनालिसिस, नंबर ऑफ़ ईयर्स ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस, सीन वेरियस थिंग्स। सो ये चीज़ें आप कैसे रिकनसाइल करेंगे कि जो एक नया ट्रेंड चल पड़ा है कि बहुत ही ज़्यादा यंग एज में आप हेड्स बना दें और फिर आप सिर्फ फॉरेन क्वालिफिकेशन पे फोकस करें, कन्वेंशनल विजडम को माइनस कर दें। एक टोटल डाउन साइज चल पड़ा है टुवर्ड्स द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। और ऑब्वियसली वो इकबाल ने बड़ा टाइमली कहा था कि है दिल के लिए मौत मशीनों की हुकूमत, एहसास मुरव्वत को कुचल देते हैं आलात। सो माई क्वेश्चन टू फॉर एवरीबॉडी,
Can I answer to that? अच्छा,
I really want to answer
You
to
really
that.
want to answer?
I really want to answer to that. On the-
She couldn't stop herself, so I have to listen to her.
Okay, जिस तरह आपने केस लॉ की हुई है, HR के अंदर होता है हे मेथोडोलॉजी इन टर्म्स ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग द जॉब साइज। आई थिंक कि सबसे पहली बात है कि व्हेन यू पुट दिस ऑन द टेबल, आई थिंक मैं हमेशा हर एक को ये कहती हूँ, इफ़ यू हैव योर बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक्स राइट, यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द एसेसरीज, यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट आखिर के अंदर फानूस क्या लगना है। If you don't have the building blocks right when you are developing the org chart of the organization, the hierarchies within the organization, then that is when chaos incurs. For instance, अब मैं example दे देती हूँ British Council की। British Council के अंदर every single role that used to, and the empowerment given to HR itself, right? So अगर मेरे पास एक नई position आई है and it's not a replacement role, there is a complete methodology which is a science itself, जिसके ऊपर आप कहते हो कि ये जो रोल है इसका साइज क्या है। So that is the first part of it, and there is a methodology. It's not because I feel like it. So it's scientific and everyone agrees, and if somebody contests, then 3 people said they दोबारा science लगाते हैं and they all have to agree on that science. So that is one part of it. The second part of it is the backbone of it. That is the competency model, and I think it goes back to what Nisha was saying कि अगर मुझे एक बंदा चाहिए तो इसके अंदर आपको क्या स्किल सेट या कॉम्पिटेंसीज चाहिए। तो जो मैंने आज तक ज़िंदगी में डेवलप की हैं हर JD के अगेंस्ट, उसके अंदर फॉरेन नेशनल नहीं होता। इफ़ यू लुक एट द मेथडोलॉजी ऑफ इट, तो आप देखेंगे कि जो बंदा जूनियर रोल में होता है उसके अंदर आपको नॉलेज ज़्यादा होती है, लेकिन इफ़ यू कीप इन माइंड द जॉब साइजिंग और द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर, जो निचला रोल होता है उसके अंदर व्हाट यू आर डूइंग इज़ रेपिटेटिव। उसके बाद द मोर सीनियर द रोल इट इज़ मोर अराउंड प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग, टेकिंग अकाउंटेबिलिटी एंड डिलीवरिंग। समवेयर इन द मिड you are innovating, but that is based on your past experience, right? And the scope in which you are planning the business itself, it will be like 6 months. Then it gradually goes to, let's say, 1 year, right? So the most senior person, जब I was heading a department, मैं बैठ के कोई काम नहीं कर रही थी तो सबको लगता था पता नहीं क्यों तनख्वाह लेंदी है। I am not getting paid because I understand my job is delivery, the strategy part of it, seeing the unseen, figuring out the unseen. So, आपके इसके अंदर I don't know about the foreign national part of it. However, when you look at the competency matrix, that is based on कि आपका skill set क्या होना चाहिए। अच्छा, again, अगर आप HR perspective से अगर हम इसको लेके बात करें, आई थिंक दूसरे पे बिलाल शायद मुझसे बेहतर आंसर दे रहे हैं, वो भी मेरी तरह बड़े एक्साइटेड हुए हैं फॉर अ नेशनल फेथ, तो आई थिंक इट्स क्लोज टू द हार्ट. So based on that, what HR can do, have a structured approach both for JD and for against every JD, it should be a clearly communicated, understood and transparent template. क्योंकि मैं हर एक को एक ही बात कहती हूँ जब मेरे पास एज एन HR आता है, जी 16 साल हो गए ना, तो मैंने कहा फिर जो बंदा ऑफिसर आया था 20 साल बाद फिर CEO होना ज़रूरी है ना फिर, बिकॉज आपने लॉक कर दिया ना 20 सालों के. इट डिपेंड्स व्हाट यू कैन डिलीवर. इसीलिए MIT में 16 साल के बच्चे को PhD की डिग्री मिल जाती है इफ़ ही हैज़ द कैपेबिलिटी. सो द फोकस शुड बी ऑन कैपेबिलिटी एंड पोटेंशियल. ये बाकी सारे ये फिर दिल की बातें होती हैं, ये मेरा दिल कर रहा है इसको प्रमोट कर दो और मेरा दिल कर रहा है उसको ना प्रमोट करो. दिस इज़ अ डिफरेंट सब सेक्टर. उसके अंदर ना HR कुछ कर सकता है तो ना डिपार्टमेंट हेड कुछ कर सकता है, होना हुई है. बाकी ये ज़्यादा बेहतर जवाब दे सकते हैं, इनको भी ये जवाब देना है.
थोड़ा सा सम अप कर दूंगा. आप कह रहे थे ना कि आपकी डिग्री जो सी है फ़ौरन होनी चाहिए, फिर आप टॉप पे आ सकते हैं. कुछ ना लायक ऊपर बिठा देते हैं और जो लायक होते हैं उनको फिर एक्सेल करने की पॉसिबिलिटीज़ नहीं रहती वहाँ पे. ठीक है. आई माई सेल्फ आई एम एन IAS ग्रेजुएट. आई डिड माई मास्टर्स फ्रॉम IAS पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी. मैं वजिया की तरह मैंने 9 ईयर्स रिटेल में नहीं लगाए कनाडा में, मैंने 13 साल लगाए पाकिस्तान में. ठीक है. सो वी वर्क टुगेदर इन सर्विस SSC. सो हम ये सोचते थे कि यार ये मालकान के साथ, ये बड़ों के साथ ये बाबे क्यों फेर रहे हैं, ये उनकी जान क्यों नहीं छोड़ते, इनकी क्या कॉम्पिटेंसी लेवल है. आप 4 कॉम्पिटेंसी लेवल ऑब्जर्वेशन, लर्निंग, प्रैक्टिशनर और एक्सपर्ट लेवल के ऊपर जाते हैं. फिर देन यू से यार हमने तो बड़ा कुछ कर लिया, HR VP बन गया, 8 साल हो गया, अब क्या करें. सो वहाँ पे ना देन आई रियलाइज इन वर्किंग विद लॉट ऑफ गुड एंटरप्रेन्योर्स, आई वुड कॉल सेट्स एज एंटरप्रेन्योर्स. समझने की ये ज़रूरत है कि व्हाट दे वांट फॉर देयर कंपनी. हमने उनके बिज़नेस की ग्रोथ मॉडल का पार्ट बनना है और हमने अपनी ज़िंदगी में ना एक चीज़ रखनी है. वो क्या है? वो हमारे नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम से लेके हमारे खुलफाए राशिदीन और हमारे बड़ों ने भी सिखाया. हम आजकल ना अपने उस्तादों को कहते हैं वी पे यू एंड यू डिलीवर टू अस, यू कम टू अस, यू टीच अवर चिल्ड्रेन, और हमने आपको पेमेंट की है. वी आस्क द कंसल्टेंट्स कम ऑन टाइम. 2 घंटे क्यों दिए, रिजल्ट क्यों नहीं आया, 6ठे महीने भाई कंसल्टेंसी ख़त्म. दिस इज़ नॉट द वे. यू नीड टू फोकस. मेरी जो नाकस राय है दैट इज़ अपने उस्तादों को ना उस्ताद माने, अपने बड़ों से जो भी सीखें उनसे आप उनकी जो सी पैरवी है, जो उनकी ओबीडियंस है वहाँ पे रहें. उस्ताद के जूते उठाए जाते हैं भाई. अगर हम ये कहेंगे ना साइंटिफिक फार्मूले में कि यार मैं अब HOD बन गया हूँ और अब मैं अपने CEO को भी समझाऊंगा, और मैं उसके अंदर आपने ये भी स्टेमिना क्रिएट करना है कि वी लर्न फ्रॉम आवर किड्स. आपकी यंग यूथ आपको बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल और बता देते हैं. हमें जनरेशन गैप भी हमारे बीच में. सो इफ़ यू फोकस ऑन दैट थिंग जहाँ पे उस्तादों की पैरवी करनी है, मेक उस्ताद इन योर लाइफ. इफ़ यू डोंट हैव उस्ताद तो ऑब्वियसली फिर आपकी डायरेक्शन क्लियर नहीं रहती. सो थिंग्स विल कम अप टू यू इंशाल्लाह.
Wonderful. We only have time for last question. I'm sorry, sir, but we'd like to. Sure.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. It has been a very engaging session. I have learned a lot, but I have 2 questions which are actually interlinked. First question is that how can we ensure that everybody is complying with the workplace culture while living in the age of AI and ML? Yeah. And the second question is that workplace culture is not just a responsibility of the HR personnel to implement and develop in any company. It is a responsibility of everyone, which starts from top tier to the lowest tier. So if top tier is not familiar with the AI or the ML tools, so how can we, manage and implement a very good workplace culture in any company? So it is a question for Nishe and for Bilal Alam Khan.
ठीक.
Good. How can we ensure people are compliant with the culture? So you can't ensure compliance with something that is dynamic, ever changing, and that's what we're talking about. As a company, as a community, you give a blueprint. The blueprint has to be clear, and the blueprint is underpinned by values. We value diverse people. We will be accountable to ensure that they are included, that they can bring their own difference, that they can bring their individuality. We're going to ensure that we are collaborative. These are blueprints, right? Culture is what people do when they come together. And it is a very difficult, I think a lot of my HR friends are going to agree with me. You have to resist the idea of micromanaging because there's only so much you can engineer. Yes. The rest of it is changing. At BAT GBS, we every month have new joiners. So the company started in 2021 with about 3, 4, 5, 6 people. Today it's 385 plus. Every month the incoming class changes, which means that the culture changes. What we need to ensure is that the underpinning values are visible. They are being reflected in the behaviors of the leadership team, in the extended leadership team. Any initiative, any program that we run is also aligned. There is no discontinuity, there's no dissonance. So that is going to be, I think, the first one. I'm going to let Bilal take the second question because...
What was your name, Mike? Usman, we have met together, na? I think we have worked together. Say, Usman, the thing is, you brought a very significant question. इसका छोटा सा आंसर ये है भाई कि आप कह रहे हो ना एक IT ट्रांजिशन है, AI हो, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट डायनेमिक्स हो, ग्रेट पेन्स हो, ERP, R12, R10 इम्प्लीमेंटेशन हो. देखो जब आप कल्चर चेंज कर रहे होते हैं ना, कल्चर चेंज का इम्पैक्ट आता है आपकी प्रैक्टिसेस के साथ. वो आपने सही बात की, इट इज़ नॉट अबाउट द टॉप मैनेजमेंट और द मिडल मैनेजमेंट, इट्स अबाउट एवरीवन बीइंग अकाउंटेबल फॉर द कल्चर. अच्छा, कल्चर में कुछ चीज़ें हो सकती हैं जिसको हम अपनी पॉलिसीज़ के अंदर कंप्लाइंस में ला सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल इंटेग्रिटी, कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट में आप फेयरनेस, एथिकल वेज ऑफ मीन, नॉन बीइंग फ्रॉडुलेंट एक्टिविटीज़ में इन्वॉल्व ना होना, ठीक है, हरासमेंट, XYZ, इस तरह की काफ़ी चीज़ें आप प्रैक्टिस में ला सकते हो. वो कंप्लाइंस में आती है, करेक्टिव एक्शन पॉलिसीज़ में आती हैं जो HR की है, ठीक है. अब आप कहते हो कि ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, लेट्स से यू डोंट हैव एनी सिस्टम इन योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, एनी ERP सिस्टम, यू वांट टू इम्प्लीमेंट माइक्रोसॉफ्ट AX डायनामिक्स. अब रिटेल की अगर हम बात करें तो वहाँ पे जब आप जाते हो तो वहाँ पे X रिपोर्ट और Z रिपोर्ट किसी ने नहीं देखी. When you come to that level, you come across retail productivity, item per transaction, productivity, conversion on these reports, right? पहले आप नहीं देखते थे, पहले आप सिर्फ नेट सेल्स, प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी, बॉटम लाइन इनके ऊपर बात करते थे. तो कल्चर हैज़ इवॉल्व with the transition and implementation of that certain ERP or system in your organization, may it be AI, ठीक है, in different areas. So वहाँ पे आपकी बात बिल्कुल ठीक है कि it has to be individual specific. जो लोग इसकी compliance नहीं करते, they don't get autonomy, they don't get promotion, they don't get recognition, and they feel somehow at the back end कि they are left alone. आप यार मैं फील करते थे ना यार, अगर हमारी प्रमोशन नहीं हो रही, हमारी ग्रोथ नहीं हो रही और लोग हमें बुला के हमें सिनेरियोज़ में नहीं इन्वॉल्व कर रहे, कहीं ना कहीं सब ने एक्सपीरियंस किया है भाई ये. सो वहाँ पे जब आपको वो लैकनेस फील होती है, देन यू फील डिसएंगेज्ड. सो द राइट वे ऑफ अप्रोचिंग कंपनी पॉलिसीज़ और बीइंग पार्ट ऑफ द कंपनी कल्चर is to be part of that whole activity life cycle in this organization where you are working. I hope it addressed somehow.
Which is something so important. There is no right way of doing the wrong thing. There's some things that are basic and essential. Businesses like to make money fast. They like to get on bandwagons. They like to follow the trends. And everything needs to be done quickly. And I'm sure HR professionals get a lot of requests. Let's run this program. Let's do it tomorrow. Let's educate, 600 employees across 9-10 locations. Let's do it within Q1, right? The request is coming in Q4 past year. The most important thing in any culture is that there are some rules, and that there is value in pausing, and that there is value in doing it the right way, and there is value in being held accountable. Because all of these are simple values, very strong values, and the more you invest in them, the stronger your foundation to excel as an individual, as a team, and as a company. Because it's those small things that you ignore that end up having the most impact. Companies having been banned because of not doing the right thing. So I think really emphasizing that is going to be very important, especially for very ambitious teams and very ambitious goals that businesses set. So yeah, there's no right way of doing the wrong thing. This is the most important part.
I think we have just one more question left. Final question.
Okay, Assalamualaikum all. This is Mubashra and I'm working as talent acquisition lead at Pure Logics. So my question is from Farah. In which situations how we can defend micro, management? And the second important thing is like how do you believe that leadership can play a role, in building a kind of environment where you can support an individual's growth and organizational culture, like in this evolving workplace landscape now, like how we can, ensure that a leadership is playing a role where he can support both things at the same time. So micro management, how we can defend this in which situations? So if you can answer.
I just wanted to understand, you want me to help you understand how micromanagement?
Like in which situations we can defend this term?
We can defend micromanagement?
Yeah.
That is a tough question.
Yeah.
Defending micromanagement, okay. So micromanagement, you can look at things in a different way. Sometimes micromanagement is being done on a specific task and it becomes too annoying, but sometimes it's about a project and there are deliverables and you need to meet those deliverables on a specific time and you're running out of it and people are following up with you and it's important to meet that deadline. So I feel that it is important to understand which circumstance it is. Micromanagement by default, personally, I cannot defend at any forum. But it can be situation-based. I understand if there is a situation and there are certain things, then it can be understood or worked with.
Okay, I think I can defend that.
Okay, brilliant. Thank
I'll try
you.
to, because I'm sitting with lawyers today, so I will give a try to defend.
You don't have to.
You can change the question by saying ke, what is the importance of attention to details rather micromanagement?
Exactly.
Hai na? So if you're talking about ke, attention to detail is how important, how it affects, so Farah can answer that.
I think Bilal is also a lawyer maybe, or he could have been a good lawyer. So what is your name?
Sure.
Mubashra, I think your question is a practical question and you are asking for a reason. And that's why, I would give you a very simple answer. Although simple answers are not easy to implement, remember this. Problem ye hai कि when micromanagement happens, we have to figure out why it is happening in the first place. There are two concepts. One is called big picture, the other is called attention to details. So normally micromanagement will happen when the detail is required. Example, a cashier on a, let's say, till machine has to ensure that he is or she is micromanaging all the financials, because 1 0 actually can make it a million or a billion. Yeah. So for in that context, micromanagement becomes important, and that is why there are checks and there are let's say steps. I'll give you one very quick example. If you know, there's a very famous case of this B-52 bomber plane. So when they brought it in the Air Force, उसके अंदर कोई जो है वो 100 plus checks थे which pilots had to perform. So when it first took off, it actually came nosedive, hit the ground, because the pilot could not handle all those 100 checks. Hence, this is a very famous business case. Then they came up with the idea how to ensure कि इतना modern jet जिसको कैसे चलाया जाए. So they brought the micro, let's say management कह लें या जो भी आप इससे कह लें, कि अगर आपको पता हो कि वो जो pilot होता है उसकी यहाँ पर एक उन्होंने special see-through plastic का वो लगाया हुआ होता है, उसके ऊपर वो सारे checks लिखे हुए होते हैं. That has to be done before flying a plane. So I would say that micro management is a broad term. However, attention to details is something which we must do, and there are ways to ensure that we do it better.
So my question was like how a leadership can play a role in shaping a culture, that support both individual growth and organizational success in evolving workplace like in these days.
Okay, so I will give you an example of my current role and my current organization. And Telenor has this culture of learning and growth where we prioritize learning at all costs, right? So there was this need that we had to develop our current sales force, not just the job group 2s or the AES sales managers, but also the senior management. And how do we make them future ready and upskill them on all functions, developing a holistic learning management system. So we spent a lot, like 6 months in designing a program to upskill not just our area sales managers, but also the senior managers to a level that they are now proper professionals that can take up any role, whether it's management, it's channel management, whether it's finance or any other role. It's a very holistic program. One, we design such initiatives that develop individuals and the business, and it also supports our culture of learning. So all 3 of those things were met in this one initiative. Secondly, I'll talk about my own example that I joined as an HR business partner for one domain. And over the course of 3 years, I have been given opportunities in all different functions. I've worked in cross-functional teams. I've worked with cross-functional on projects. So my growth and development was prioritized by the organization while serving the organization's ambition and keeping our culture alive. So there can be ways where you can enrich a person's role, you can enlarge their roles and responsibilities and enhance their work, along with keeping the culture alive. So it also depends on what you value in your organization. If it's learning and development, then it's like a brilliant combo. Yeah, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us towards the end of this event. I would like to thank all of our wonderful panelists. I had a great time learning from each one of you.